Good morning. Welcome, everyone. This is our last day of the 10-day live stream celebration. I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna get some information here to you before we begin. Today we're talking about, or I'm showing you, 10 of the coolest flutes in my collection. It's hard to not be biased, but I think you'll be surprised at some of these. Some you may have seen before, some you may not have. So we've got some cool things in store. So let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. I'd love to see how far these reach, these live streams. Okay, let me put one thing in the chat here while we are coming into the room. I keep saying room because I'm used to Zoom rooms. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I see Andrew, good morning. Tina, Linda, Kim, Judy, Ann, welcome everyone. Karen, James, good to see you. Hey, good morning. Mary Jane is back also. Good stuff. Oh, now the comments are really coming in. All right. Steve says, bummed I missed the last 2 days. Whoops, hold on. But I'm here today. Good to have you. I see Betty and Martin from Portugal. That's cool. Weber, good to see you. Anthony, Martin, Jerry, Kim, Brian, good to see you. Chris, Alan, Jackie, Barbara, cool. Good to see so many here today. It's going to be real laid back today. Not a lot of heavy instruction and information like the last few days. And hey, listen, I know over the last 9 days or so, I have thrown so much at you. So many things to think about, so many things to take back to your flute playing and integrate and work in. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. And as a matter of fact, I give you so much because there's so much to give, but also not everything is going to work for you. I give you ideas, I give you inspiration, I give you little tools, things like that. If you're looking to take these things and make something of them that's more concrete, more put together, developing your workflow, that kind of thing, then please consider joining us in Horizons Plus. This is the last day that we are offering the $1 a day for the annual membership to Horizons Plus. If you haven't made a decision of should I stay or should I go kind of thing, try it out. We also offer a 10-day free trial. So you can come in, look around. You're going to see all the courses, the Q&As, the workshops, the lesson modules. There's a lot of stuff in there, and it's put together so that you can focus on an area. Awesome. Okay, Corinne, good to see you. Brenda, Angelina, good to see you. Tom, Strong Eagle, nice. Well, let's go through some of my flute collection. I have pulled 10 of the most unique flutes from my collection, and these are in no particular order, so we're not ranking these from 1 to 10 or 10 to 1. They will be by random order. These are just the 10. Oh, I'm looking over here in the corner. I see another one that I should have brought over. Actually, 2 more I should have brought over. You got to draw the line somewhere. Andrew says, what you have given has been great. In fact, I took the garbage out yesterday. That's really good. Have that mental take the garbage out exercise. You guys ready to see some flutes? And as I show you these flutes, if you have one like this, let me know if you have one from this maker, or if there's one of these flutes that reminds you of a flute that you have in your collection, or if it's a flute that you'd like to add to your collection. As I show some of these, people go, oh man, where'd you get that? I want one. So there'll be a little bit of that today. Some of these are complete one-offs. Some of these you may be able to add to your collection. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. Brian, yes, 12 is better than 10, but we'll keep it we'll have to do this again, I guess. Okay, so let's start out. You may or may not have seen this flute before. Do I want to start with this one? Oh, the suspense is real today. Okay, so this is a flute. Let's see if I can get it to focus up here. This is a ceramic flute made by John Coolius. It's in the key of A. If I turn it over here, you can see he signs the back of them. And this one is very heavy. I mean, this is a really thick wall, you know, with it being made out of, these made out of porcelain? No, these are made out of clay. And it has a beautiful tone, very bright, very heavy. So this is the heaviest flute in my collection. It's even heavier than hardwood and epoxy flutes put together. It's got a lot of weight. This is like the weight of a flower pot. And that's essentially what it's made from. So let me give you a sound dry and then I'll turn on some reverb for you. Again, key of A. Okay. John Coolius, it's John, Coolius, Kulias. And I don't know, he was under the business name of Meadowlark Flutes. I am not sure that he is currently making flutes. I know that he will make them in very small batches. Okay. Kim says, I watched yesterday's live stream this morning and wow, was it helpful. Awesome. Good morning, Deb. Ian, good to see you. These lives have been really great and ignited my interest in learning to play. Wonderful. Tina asks, are they more moisture resistant? You know, I don't know, but a lot of flutes, I would imagine so. I have not experienced, come to think of it, I've not experienced wet out with this flute. I don't know if it's because I've not played it long enough, you know, in length to know or to experience it. But I do know that some flute makers will use ceramic as an insert under the block, and that does absorb moisture. I will have to get back to you on that. Brenda says, selling any of your flutes? Not that one. Oh, cool. Molly says, I have 2 transverse ceramic flutes, one in C and the other in G. Love them both. Mm-hmm. Morning, Scott. Okay, moving on. This is another... Actually, let's go to something different before I bring that up. Something a little different. Okay, this one gets a lot of... I haven't had this one very long in my collection. I got it in a flute trade. Horizons Plus members, you've seen this one in some of the private concert things and Q&As that we've done. This is Stephen Deruby flute. And hold on just a second. Okay, so I'm going to pause here. I wasn't going to do this yet, but everyone, we've gotten a couple of messages around this. So this cup, okay, how do we get this cup? People are asking, how do I get a cup? Let me show you today's promo. Today's promo is you can get this for free, and I'm going to show you how. Not only are you going to get that for free, you're going to get something else. So we've put together for the last day, maybe our biggest gift? I don't know. So you can get a free Horizons mug, the exact one, not the exact one, I mean, this one's mine. You can't have this exact one, but we have a lot of these. They are just like this. So today, when you make a purchase on our flute store, horizonsflutestore.com, in excess of $75 or more, I'm going to send you a mug and an autographed CD. The caveat here is that one of the items that you buy has to be physical. So that way we can actually send these things to you in the package itself. So if you load up on digital stuff, I don't have a shipping address or anything to ship it to you. So one of these things that you purchase today needs to be a physical item, and we'll put a coffee mug and an autographed CD. This is only good for a day. Tomorrow at 11 Central, no good, no more. So if you want to get a cup, you can also buy them individually. We do have these on our website. Martin, I saw your comment. Hey, can we buy one of your mugs? Yeah. Steve asked, Johnny, how many flutes do you have? Don't know. I have roughly probably 200. I try to keep it under 200, and what I'm doing right now is when one comes in, one needs to go. So I'm trying to just make my collection stronger by doing it that way. And so one comes in, one goes out, much like, shoes and shirts and things like that, and toys for the kids. We got into that as well. But, I do still have some gaps in my collection that I'm trying to fill. Let's move on to this. This is a Deruby flute. It's very short. It's closed end. Deruby passed away a number of years ago, no longer makes flutes. However, you can come across his flutes in like eBay. We've had them through our pre-owned trade, our trade-in program on Horizons Flute Store. That's how I got a hold of this one. Someone was looking to rehome it, and I said, you know what, I got to have it. And there's a thumb hole in the back, closed end, 6 holes on the top here. Let me play this for you. This is called the Ohm flute, O-M. And what it is, it has a very low B as in boy note right down here at the end. But as soon as I lift that, it dramatically jumps in interval, in pitch. And then from this point on, it plays an E Aeolian scale. Okay, let's hear how this sounds. Beautiful tone out of this flute. I'm gonna put the reverb on for this. Really cool flute, low flute. I like to take this one into yoga, meditation, those types of areas to share music. And I have a new song that I'm working on. I hope I can work that in. It's such a soft flute. The voice is so low and soft that it almost won't work in the song because, anyway. All right, let's move on. Another flute. This one's really cool. This one is made by Roger McGee. Got this one also. Well, let me put it up here. You can see it. It's very lightweight, and it's made to look much like a branch. This is man-made as far as, the gouging, so it wasn't just like this on the ground. This one's in the key of A sharp or B flat. I just love the look of it. It just looks like you're stumbling through the woods and you just find this flute. And I love the tone of it too. So one half step above like the mid A flute, so B flat, A sharp. So there you have it. Roger McGee. Several are asking about, let me lay these out in order so I don't mix them up. When the live is over, I'll come back on YouTube and put them in the replay. Yeah, people are asking, hey, can you list out the makers and such? Absolutely. Hang on, give me just a second. Here we go. Yeah, so I'll come back and put the maker there. Again, some of these aren't making flutes anymore, or the flutes that I show you aren't available because they were kind of one and dones. So it's up to you to kind of find something like this. Okay, moving on. This is another really interesting flute. So a little story behind this flute. This is a John Norris flute. John has made many different types of flutes, mostly Native American style flutes, but he does a lot of replicas and then a lot of experimenting too. And really, really fond of his work. When I went down to Musical Echoes in Fort Walton Beach this past April, friend of mine, one of the organizers who books the entertainment there, has a native shop, and he has a couple of flutes in his shop, and I saw this on the rack, and I'm like, dude, I know that. What is that? Is that for sale? And he goes, yeah. He goes, the thing's out of tune. I don't know what it is. And I said, oh, I know what it is. It's not out of tune. You're just not playing it right. And so this is John's attempt. This was made in 2014, so it's about 10 years old. He's not making these anymore. This is a whistle style, so no block tied on top. So whistle style, and the tuning of it is that of the Mojave flute. And so there's a couple of different scales or ways to play this. I'll noodle with it. You can get an idea. It's in the key of D. And most of the Mojave basket maker Pueblo flutes are rim blown, so they don't have any kind of mouthpiece. They just have some have a notch, some just have a little edge to them. And so this one's makes it a little easier to play with this. So you can hear different modes coming out there. One minor, one major. I misspoke. It's not Mojave. It's actually the basket maker, which we sometimes call Anasazi, but we've learned over time that we shouldn't call it that because that term is a racial slur And so that's why we now say Pueblo flute or basket maker. So if you're using that term, you may want to shy away from it in the future. All right. Cool. James says, I wish John would consider making another batch of these. I'd certainly grab one. Yeah, he said he made a short run of them and they were just kind of a pain to manufacture and to get consistent. And so for that reason, he kind of sticks with native style flutes. Weber says, how much difference in playing do the offset fingering holes make? You know, offset fingering holes can really help. They can also kind of get in the way sometimes. It really depends on hand size. Like on a flute like that, I don't need necessarily the offset finger holes. I am about 5'9". Ring size is a 10 and a half-ish. So I don't have incredibly large hands. I do have a good degree of mobility, agility, dexterity, and flexibility in my hands because of what I do and how much I work with them. They also hurt sometimes. However, sometimes the offset holes, because our finger lengths are different, we're all individual, sometimes it can feel just a little wonky. Like I've picked up flutes before and I miss holes because my finger's too long or too short for that particular thing. So offset holes can be really helpful, but again, they can just be different. A fair amount of the flutes that I show you today do have offset holes, like the one I just showed you, and they really can help increase the length. However, if you're playing like a low flute that would require offset holes usually, I've got some tips around this. I have a video on YouTube, and I've got some new things that I want to put in a video for tips for playing bass flute. But the number one thing that you can do to extend your reach on a bass flute is, hold on just a second, is when you're playing it, instead of holding it out here like this, you want to bring it closer to your body, and whatever hand, doesn't matter, whatever hand you have on bottom, left or right, just turn a little bit so that way, so if I'm sitting across here from the camera, I'm going to pull the flute over this way. And what happens is, instead of my hand and wrist being out here like this, now I'm bringing it closer to my body and then furthering this, getting this wrist in neutral position. As much as possible, you want to keep this in neutral position, because if your hand is kinked up like this, it's going to hurt. You lose reach on your ring finger here. Can't reach as far, and there's a lot of tension in it. So neutral, pull it back as close to your body as you can. I've got lots of tips on YouTube, and especially in Horizons Plus. Let's go. I have two flutes from the same maker that are very different. These are made by Paul Nelson. This is one of my favorite branch flutes. Look at this. Is this not cool? This is kind of exactly as you would find it on the ground, the branch, and just really, really cool. I love branch flutes for their character. Each one's different. No one is alike. It's really cool. I think this one's in the key of E. Yeah, so I got this one a couple of years ago. I forget what wood it's made from. I'd have to look at my records. But this is Paul Nelson, Paulnelson, Slow Rise Music. He's based out of Ohio. This is the branch flute in E. nice flute here. No offset finger holes on this one. It looks heavy, but it is not. I attribute that to the type of wood it is that I cannot remember. But sometimes like branch flutes, if it's a hardwood, it's going to be heavier. That goes for any flute, branch flute or not. Harder woods tend to be more dense. They tend to be heavier. Anytime you have more leather or fancy blocks on the top, it's going to attribute to that weight. All right, halfway through. We're going to get a little colorful here, but first, my other flute from Paul Nelson. I got this one. This was my first Paul Nelson flute. And some of you recognize this one. I've used this one in concerts. I've used this one in YouTube videos before. This is a really cool flute. And this is actually made from Spanish cedar. And it's been ebonized a bit, so that's why it's darker. Spanish cedar is usually like a orangish, a light brown, light orangey color. But this one's been stained. And just the detail, like even around, the finger holes here. You can see just how ornate a lot of this carving is. It's really one of the coolest flutes in my collection. I've done some recording with it. It just has a really nice soft voice to it. And I really like it a lot. It's in the key of G sharp, which is another oddity, but I write a lot of music in G sharp. You'll find in my recordings and songbook material and lessons, G sharp is a key that comes up quite a bit. And for some reason, it's like the key of, I don't want to say sadness, but I write a lot of big instrumentals with G sharp. There's something about the key that just pulls out this emotion. So here we go. So there you go. I'm already getting carried away and kind of into that, tapping into that feeling. Very, very easy to play. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, again, in no order of weirdness, of coolness, just top 10. Well, I should say top 10 for now. Okay, let's get a little comfortable. Or not comfortable. Yeah, I hope you're comfortable. Let's get a little colorful. The next two flutes that I have are not wood tone by any mean. Martin, yeah, Melancholy. Yeah, that's a really good way to describe it. Melancholy. Nice. Steve says, as a guy who worked in physical therapy for 26 years, I like that you address good ergonomics in playing. Yeah, if you're playing your flute and it hurts, something's not right. I'm not one that preaches, sit up on the edge of your chair, feet flat on the ground, shoulders high, because I realize you're going to be playing your flute in different positions. Some people like to kick back in their recliner, play the flute. That's cool. But you do want to be mindful that things that you do outside of the good position, like I prefer to stand when I play. Because it allows me to be more mobile and I can move not only my shoulders and torso. You want to be able to move your elbows. I don't lock my pinkies down like this. I don't tuck them under the flute. I am keeping myself as relaxed as possible. But the other thing about standing is I can move my feet. I can also move my hips. And not that that makes a big difference, because we use hips for flute playing, but you do sometimes want to shift your weight around And it also helps if you're standing and you struggle with rhythm. This is a really good one. You can sway back and forth to help you keep that rhythm, because we walk and we talk in rhythm, and it helps us ingrain it and get it moving in our body, so we're not having to think and count and play. You've already got that internal metronome. That physical metronome is your body. Internalize the rhythm and move. Okay. How do we get a Paul Nelson flute? He may have some available on his website. slowrisemusic.com, I think, is his URL. Google Paul Nelson, Slow Rise Music. You may find that he has some for sale. Reach out to him. I know he usually has a few on hand, depending on the shows that he's doing. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. Colorful. Let's go colorful. These two will kind of surprise you. This one, I get a lot of comments on YouTube. Hey, can you play the blue thing in the back? It's a snake. This is so cool. This is made by Douglas Thunderhorse. So you can see the snake's mouth is the mouthpiece. Malachite eyes. There we go, right there. And a branch flute that's been painted blue and aqua-ish colors. And this flute is in the key of A, has a very soft voice to it. And so it is the quietest, the smoothest little snake flute. And this is the only one in my collection that is, like, I have some bird head flutes and things like that, but this is the first one that I've had that's actually an animal, a snake. And this is the thing, like, snakes kind of weird me out a little bit. I don't know why. They just kind of weird me out a little bit. So when I saw this, I was like, is this meant to be? Am I supposed to have this flute? And I just felt like, yes, this is going to help me get more comfortable with that snake energy. And I know that snake energy is a part somewhere of me. I think my Chinese zodiac is snake. So there's some ties to it, and it just feels kind of weird, but this is helping. So this is my snake flute. So, it has a little bit of back pressure. One thing about a little breath to it, but it's a character of the flute, and I love it for everything that it is. I'm not one to get a flute and say, oh, I don't like it because of X, Y, Z. Like, I have my preference. You have your preference. We have different, sometimes, preferences on things. And so I learned to appreciate flutes for everything they are, and each one has its own voice, as we do. But one cool thing about Douglas Thunderhorse is he makes the sound hole here round, whereas normally they are rectangle or squarish. And so this attributes a little bit to that softness, but he does that too. He has some spiritual reasons why he chooses to make it round instead of square. The next colorful flute that I have might just blow your mind. It did mine. I was just like, how? How does this even happen? And a little scared to show you this one because they might be sometimes hard to find. And this is a flute maker who we're working on bringing onto our store. We're collaborating on a series of flutes together. But Oh, Brian, that was a great idea. I should have played the Snake Charmer song. I still can. Watch this. Hold on. Good pun. Good fun. Okay, so the next one is wild. Check this out. Whoa. Wow. Like, what do you even say? What's your reaction to this? Look at this. 3. It's a triple flute. So you got one, the middle flute here is your melody flute. You've got 3 holes on your drone side here, and then you've got a constant drone over here. So, man, I nicknamed this flute Skittles. This is my Skittles flute. And it's in the key of G. It's made by, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, if it's Pine or Pin. It's Pyn Flutes. It's 3D printed. 3D printed. Very lightweight. You can feel a little bit of the, if I scratch it with my nail, so there's a little bit of texture to the side of it. But guys, hear this flute. This is so cool. Reza, yes. And we're working with him to bring a line of flutes onto Horizon's Flute Store. Anyway, super cool design, super cool color, and 3D printed. It's just kind of like, whoa, what is that? Really bizarre. Yeah, lots of musical color. Skittles triple is sweet. It is sweet. Sweet in sound. No flavor. There's no fruity flavor with it, so it's not like you can taste the rainbow with this one like Skittles, but yeah, several people have flutes from him. He makes singles, doubles, triples. He sent me this one and a handful of other ones just to try, and I like them. That's why we're bringing them onto the store. I hope we're working some things out. Coffee. Get your coffee cup today. Remember, you can get it for free today only. 2 more flutes. We're going to go big and then go home. So the next 2 are quite large, somewhat quite large. So the next one is actually a product that we carry on our store, and it's this thing. This is a bass F sharp. We call them Ocarina AFS because they're kind of a hybrid between an ocarina, which is a vessel flute, much like the Stephen Deruby flute that I showed you earlier, how it has that really low tone. You're able to achieve lower tones in a vessel flute. That's why many of the times, like when you see ocarinas, they sound lower than what you would expect. It's because of the vessel style instrument they are. So this is an F sharp. This is comparable to a low F sharp flute that would be probably around 3 foot in length, somewhere around there. Only 5 holes. Now the thing about this, again, we have these on our website. The bottom holes are ergonomically placed for a right-handed flute player. These are no trouble at all. The ones up here are quite large, so this can be challenging for those who don't have meaty fingers. I don't have very large fingers. This is probably my max that I would be able to do. If they were any larger, now I can put my finger in the hole here, but using more of the pad of the finger. But get a load out of the sound of this thing, this little thing, right? And what I like about this is, after I pack my flutes in a hard case, this can still go in the top of it just fine. And so it's like that headroom space that you have sometimes in your flute bag or case. This fits perfectly in there, and I don't have to have an extremely large or long flute case to carry a bass flute. I really enjoy these. We have a smaller version that we're working on. They should have been here already, but little delay. We have a much smaller one that will work for any size hand. And that'll be coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. Well, we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've gone through 9 of these 10 flutes already. Let me know so far which one is your favorite. This last one may change your mind on which one is your favorite. This is a flute, and I have a recording song on my new album, or albums. I'm working on new material, and I've always imagined and dreamed that I would have a double album. So one package, 2 CDs together, very yin-yang kind of feel to them. Still working some things out with it. This flute showed up, and it's just absolutely magical. This is my White Raven low B drone flute made by Anna Pan. I just love this flute. These little notches in the back here are for your thumbs to rest in. It is ergonomically placed for a right-handed flute player, and where the holes are, it's flattened out so the feathers don't really impede with that, which is really nice. Very comfortable to play. So this not only is where my thumbs go, but if you can see, it's also in the shape of wings. So you can see like a nice little curve here. So really beautiful. Is it heavy? I mean, it's not that heavy. It is actually, it's lighter than this flute. I think it's made out of white pine, and so the soft wood, the pine, keeps it very lightweight. Not a whole lot of, there is some wall thickness down here, some material here, but overall it is not as heavy as you would think it is. Mouthpiece too, there's just a little offset here, so you can play it singly and as a drone, and it's just phenomenal. I have this song that I'm working on with it. I debuted this song, played it live. I've been taking some of these songs that I'm working on and playing them to live audiences to get an idea of like song titles, what they feel, what they hear, what they see, that kind of thing. And so it's been really interesting. This is in the key of low B. B as in boy. So here's how it sounds. I'll play it singly and then I'll add the drone. Love this flute. Anna and I had been talking for some time, and she had some difficult circumstances, and time went on. I forgot about the flute, and then it just showed up one day, and I didn't expect it because months had gone by, and she reached out, and just it was just like at the perfect time, because I wasn't expecting it. We had had this conversation and then forgot about it, and it just showed up. And like what a gift the flute is in and of itself, but the way that it also came into my life is also just as much a gift. Anna, thank you for your work. Beautiful flute. Love this flute. It will forever be in my collection. So there you have it, friends. 10 flutes. Kind of odd, a little different, a little cool, a little weird. It's cool. It's great. It's fun to see all the different flutes, all the different flute makers. And so I'll put together a list and post it below when we put this on YouTube. Facebook might be a little harder to track down and really see the list of flutes. But check it out on YouTube if you haven't, or after this, I guess. So, hey, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the 10-day live stream. Thanks for celebrating with me for a week and a half. My birthday was yesterday, but it's just fun to include you all in the festivities. And I just appreciate all the support, all the comments, all the likes, the shares, etc. Again, I would love to have you in our Horizons Plus membership. We do so much there with Q&As and flute circles and getting you not only materials and resources and stuff to work on, but also giving you clarity around what you should be working on. The membership is full of growing flute players. We are all eager to help you. It's not just me as a talking head, it's our members who help one another as well. So all the stuff that I shared in the last 9 or 10 days, and even before then, all the stuff is cooked down, put in Horizons. It's anyway, available to you. Would love to have you come learn and grow with us. Thank you so much for being a part. I'm just reading some of the comments here. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. You are absolutely welcome. Weber says, you must be a hobbit giving things away on your birthday. Sure, I'll be a hobbit. I think I have the feet for it anyway. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. Hey, if there's anything I can do to help you along your flute journey, your creative process, your creative path, let me know. I'm here. I'm available. I'm happy to help. I want to see you be able to bring beauty and creativity and music and song and laughter and joy and connection into the world. And we do that sometimes with our flutes, sometimes with our writing, sometimes with a pen, sometimes with a canvas, whatever the creative endeavor. I'm here for you. So appreciate you all. Thanks so much. And we'll do something like this again soon. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know how to reach me. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you again soon.